This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening, I'm Peter Cowan.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes. Welcome to a 30-minute edition of Here and Now.
It's an emotional day for residential school survivors in this province. They're weighing in after news that an apology is on its way from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, survivors in this province were excluded from an apology from Stephen Harper in 2008. But last year, the federal government offered $50 million to settle claims of abuse and loss of culture. Here and Now's Jacob Barker has more.
Some people, that's all they're waiting for. They've been left out.
Beatrice Hope is a residential school survivor. Finally, she'll hear the words she's been waiting for. For many others who went to residential schools in Labrador, the apology coming from the federal government is too late.
It's mostly for the survivors. And there are so many who have already passed away without hearing the apology.
News of the Prime Minister's promise of an apology is welcome because she hopes it will help others heal the scars of their residential school experience.
There's so many that don't have healing, so I hope that this apology will start their road to healing.
It's just words to me.
For Shirley Flowers, Justin Trudeau's apology won't mean much. She was in a residential school in Northwest River when she was 13 years old. She ran away after a year to live with relatives.
It's meaningless, and I don't know how anyone can speak for a whole country, because I think that reconciliation needs to come from everyone.
The desire, the need for an apology has always been there.
When Justin Trudeau lands in Labrador for that apology, what will he say? That could be up to former residential school students.
Open-ended questions which would allow them to give us some ideas of whether there should be an apology not only to the students themselves, but to the families that were affected and the ongoing issues arising from that, and recognize as well that there was an omission in 2008.
So the apology is on its way, and it could be soon. The Prime Minister is expected to make it here in Labrador sometime in the fall. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Well, we have an update for you now on an exclusive story that Here Now brought you last night. The family of a deceased fisherman from Southern Harbour may get the money after all. Calvin Tobin was 1 day late in paying his union dues when he was killed in a highway crash. His family says they were told by the FFAW that no benefits could be paid. But Sun Life Insurance contacted CBC News today to say that's not the case. The company has a grace period after non-payment of premiums.
I can say that in an ideal situation, providing proper documentation is met, anyone who is within that 31-day window should be eligible for their basic coverage.
Now, the family met with the FFAW this morning after days of phone calls, and they were told that they should receive at least $15,000.
In national news tonight, the federal government is telling ships in the Gulf of St. Lawrence to slow down. It's in response to the deaths of several endangered right whales since the start of June. Transport Minister Marc Garneau says imposing speed restrictions should help the whales avoid collisions.
And it's because of the very dramatically changing situation that we have decided to put these speed restrictions in place.
Scientists estimate as many as 100 right whales are feeding in the Gulf right now. That's about 1/5 of the entire world population. The government is telling ships to reduce speeds to 10 knots or about 18 kilometers an hour. Any ships traveling faster could be fined up to $25,000.
CBC Investigates has obtained documents that shed new light on a situation at the College of the North Atlantic. The respiratory therapy program at the college had its accreditation pulled in late June. Nearly 40 students were affected. College officials have declined to get into details about why that happened. But a report obtained by CBC points to a number of issues. Those include the emotional safety of students, high attrition rates in the program, quality management problems, and apparent conflicts between teaching and clinical faculty. Officials at the college won't do interviews, but said in an email that they are working on a plan to help students who've been left in the lurch. For more details on this CBC Investigates story, you can go to our website, cbc.ca/nl. Well, the city of St. John's has started work on a $10 million park for the Kenmount Terrace area. Well, it doesn't look like much now, but eventually there'll be a playground, a splash pad, basketball court, skate park, and walking trails. There'll also be a community center. People living in the new subdivision have complained about a lack of green space. Now, at the sod turning today was St. John's Mayor, Dennis O'Keefe. The big question, will he seek re-election in September? Well, he says we'll get the answer to that question next week, but one thing is clear, he does not want former Mayor Andy Wells back at City Hall. Here now is Terry Roberts reports.
Dennis O'Keefe in his element, at a microphone, telling stories, folksy.
Just imagine the old lovers and the young lovers.
3 terms as mayor, 30 years on city council. But will his name be on the ballot again? The man they call Doc says he will reveal his plans on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Loads of time. It's all part of the process. I've gone through a long period of decision making.
But one subject he won't duck is the possible return of sharp-tongued former mayor Andy Wells.
It would be one of the most regressive, unfortunate steps the city had ever gone in.
Do you think you could beat him?
Yes.
So are you going to try?
You'll know that on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
There are signs, though, that O'Keefe is ready to step aside. His public profile is not what it used to be, and he was practically invisible during the recent disaster on Froude Avenue.
No, that has absolutely nothing to do with any plans that I might have for my future as mayor of this wonderful city. What do you think of that?
Well, I think you should tell us what you're going to do.
Well, you'll have to wait.
And he's been known to jokingly refer to Ward 1 councillor Danny Breen as the city's next mayor. Some observers say O'Keefe will retire and throw his support behind Breen in order to prevent any vote splitting that might favor Wells.
I have absolutely no idea if he plans to run or not. I really don't.
Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, in the weather department, it's weekend time, and the weekend is going to start with a bit of a show in the sky, and the weather will cooperate. The Perseid meteor shower kicks off tonight. Looking northeast will be your best chance of catching a glimpse, and I'll let you know what the clouds look like across the province right after the break.
Weekend weather time.
Yes. And as I mentioned before the break, a bit of a show to start the weekend. And for once, the weather is going to cooperate with a meteor shower. Now, the moon is going to be a bit of an issue because the moon rises this evening around 10:30, depending on where you are in the province. It doesn't set till tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So the moon brightness is going to be a bit of a factor because the moon is illuminated right now at like 83%. Okay. But the weather is going to cooperate enough, and before that moon rises and really gets high in the sky, when you look to the northeast, the Perseid meteor shower is going to be peaking tonight. And so that's good news because the weather is going to cooperate. Again, this is courtesy of skyandtelescope.com. If you type in Perseid meteor shower, you're going to find lots of more information online. But again, the general theme here is look up in the sky after sunset tonight, before sunrise tomorrow, and that is when this show will be at its peak. And I'll really zoom down low here, and you can see the sky will be quite visible tonight for most of the province. A bit of cloud kicking up possibly in the Corner Brook region through the overnight tonight. Also western parts of Labrador. Everywhere else is pretty much smooth sailing, and it's going to be quite mild as well. Temperatures hanging on to the teens here in St. John's, 14 degrees. Just 6 degrees in Lab West, but again, the clouds will really be thickening up there. Now, as we roll throughout the day tomorrow, the clouds really start to build in through Labrador. Best chance of showers tomorrow, Labrador City back towards Churchill Falls. For western parts of Newfoundland, Stephenville, the Port-au-Port, Corner Brook, Gros Morne, Humber Valley, Bayvert Peninsula, up towards the Northern Peninsula for the late afternoon, there is the chance of seeing a couple of showers. Isolated, but certainly the risk is there. 14 in Metro to start the day. We'll get up 25 into the afternoon. It's going to be a really nice day. Clouds will really build in for tomorrow evening across the rest of the province in terms of eastern and central parts of Newfoundland. Again, 20 in onshore winds as winds become a bit south-southeasterly in the east and a bit south-southwesterly across parts of the west coast. But again, we're talking 25, 26 degrees for inland areas tomorrow, so it's going to be a really nice day. Now into Labrador, again, increasing clouds throughout the day, especially Happy Valley Goose Bay and through the Straits where there's a chance of an early evening shower, 18 to 20 degrees for western parts of Labrador. And then, things kind of deteriorate in terms of our conditions through the Saturday evening and overnight period. By Sunday morning, solid chance of showers everywhere from St. John's to the north coast back towards Labrador City. Clouds dominant. I think into the afternoon, some of that heavier rain starts to work off, but still some scattered shower chances for pretty much everybody. Afternoon clouds will dominate, still a risk into the evening, and so it's definitely going to be Saturday's the nicer day to get some of those outdoor plans done, and then perhaps an indoor day for Sunday, or just grab the umbrella or the rain suit. Rain has never been much of a factor here before, right? We're all used to that. Now as we roll into Monday, this low will start to depart, and we are going to see a bit of a break in behind with some sunshine developing, and you can see certainly a nicer day Monday. A bit cool in those onshore winds, but not half bad, and really quite a bit cooler in Labrador. We'll let you know what next week is shaping up like with your 7-day trend coming up in just a few minutes. Peter?
Well, it's time to take a look at our young athlete of the day, who today is from Bonavista. Rihanna Gray is 11 years old and loves playing hockey.
Yes, she's the goalie with the Bonavista Cabots, and her team won gold this year at a tournament in Botwood.
Awesome job. You're today's young athlete of the day.
Well, a man on the west coast is walking 50 kilometers from Deer Lake to Corner Brook tomorrow.
Yes, and you could call the trek baby steps. Kevin Garnier and 35 others are raising money for the newborn unit at Corner Brook Hospital. Garnier did the exact same walk 50 years ago to the day.
Yeah, when he was 17, he pushed a shopping cart filled with toys to the hospital. Now the 67-year-old is recreating the event with the hopes of raising $50,000. He and his team have been training for months for this.
Excited, but at the same time we're a little anxious too. I have 35 walkers attempting to do the complete 50 kilometers with me, and then dozens of others joining in at different points along the way. So I'm anxious because I'm really hoping that the 35 that start out with me are going to be able to complete the whole thing.
This is Gabe and Jessica, a dynamic dog show duo. They'll be competing in a big championship in this province this weekend. They'll tell us all about it coming up. Well, if you like dog shows, a very special event is going to be happening in Bay Roberts this weekend. It's the National Junior Handling Championships, and it's the first time it's ever being held in this province. And our local representative is 17-year-old Jessica Piercy and her beautiful Siberian Husky, Gabe. So, Jessica, it's a big event for you this weekend.
It is, yes.
How long have you been handling dogs?
I started showing in Pee Wee, starting off when I was 4 years old.
That's a really long time.
Yeah, I've been showing for a while now.
And why do you like it so much?
I just like all the friendships you build with people, so many opportunities, traveling. Like I went to Calgary last year and I went to Toronto the year before.
Can you tell us a little bit about Gabe?
Gabe's 4 years old. Gabe's been showing right from when he was a puppy. I started training him. He's won best in shows, he's won best puppy in shows, he's had a lot of success.
You must have a pretty special relationship with him.
Yeah, you gotta create a bond with your dogs when you're showing them as well, so teammates.
How do you do that?
A lot of training and a lot of practice, anywhere from a couple hours every 3 days or so, yeah. You practice keeping them 4 square, so you stack them 4 square.
What does that mean?
So, I can demonstrate, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So all you're doing is you're just stacking 4 squares so the judge can get a side view and so he can go over and kind of feel for all the structure and bone structure and stuff like that.
So Gabe doesn't learn a lot of the tricks that normal dogs learn.
No, Gabe is taught to stand 4 square and that's pretty much it.
So if you told him to sit, he would not sit?
He wouldn't. He'd look at you like, what are you saying to me?
And this competition, it's more about you than the dog.
Yeah, so junior handling is basically, it's more so based on how the handler shows.
What kind of questions are you expecting from the judges about Gabe?
Well, they commonly ask questions about like where the body parts are, so where the withers are, where the hocks are, where the pasterns are.
What are withers?
Withers are right here. So these are the withers right here.
Like shoulder blades?
Pretty much, yeah. And then they might ask where the stop is too. So the stop is in between the two eyes. Yeah, and then they could ask a question like, what was your breed bred for? So Gabe would be bred for Siberian Husky. They're bred for dog sledding. They're a working dog.
If you happen to win, then what could happen?
I can go to England in Crufts. Yeah.
And what is Crufts for people who don't know?
Crufts is the biggest dog show in the world. So that's where, so if I won, I would go up there to represent Canada. You're expected to know a bunch of patterns. So you're expected to know how to do an L, how to do a T, how to do a reverse triangle, and how to do a triangle.
Can you show us how to do one of those?
Yeah, I can show you how to do an L. Ready, baby?
So when you're doing those patterns, are the judges looking more at the dog or at you?
They're looking more so at you. So when you're doing the patterns, they're looking at how graceful your hand changes are. So you don't want it to be choppy and like hesitant on switching hands.
Yeah. So it sounds like a little bit of a dance between you and Gabe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, show me how to do this.
Yeah. So the dog always goes in this hand.
Like this?
Yeah, and then you turn around.
Okay.
Yep.
Am I on this side?
You gotta get on this side. Perfect.
Okay.
Ready? And then you're gonna go down.
And are we trotting?
We're trotting. Then you're gonna come around. Come this way.
On this side?
You stay on that side. And then you come up the diagonal.
Okay. This way, Gabe.
Perfect.
This is way harder than it looks.
Yeah.
How do you stay graceful doing this? We're like bumping into each other. Well, thank you, Jessica, for showing me.
No problem.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back to Here and Now. A teen from Richmond Hill, Ontario is still on cloud nine. Denis Shapovalov took down a giant and is moving on at the Rogers Cup tennis tournament. He says the Montreal crowd gave him a big boost.
The crowd was ridiculous. I've never seen, I've never been in a sporting event where the fans get so loud, and it's so much fun to be a part of, and you know, it's so much fun having them cheer me on. Honestly, I don't think I could be in this position without them.
The 18-year-old upset top seed Rafael Nadal in 3 sets. He's the youngest player to reach the tournament's quarterfinals since Bjorn Borg in 1974. The victory will move him into the top 100 in world rankings. Before his stunning win, he was ranked 143rd.
Well, time now to see who's celebrating birthdays and anniversaries.
Happy 90th birthday today to Margaret Fraser of Port-aux-Basque. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to June and Hubert Vatcher of Lewisport, celebrating tomorrow. Howard and Rose Banks Hampden are celebrating their 51st anniversary. Happy birthday to Vera Tremblett, who celebrated her 104th birthday earlier this week. Happy birthday to Olive Strugnell of Pooch Cove, who celebrated her 98th birthday. 60th anniversary wishes to Ray and Vera Kennedy.
Happy birthday to Rita Eason, who turned 90 on August 10th. Happy 52nd anniversary to Hollis and Betty Pelly of Little Burnt Bay. Happy 61st anniversary to Sam and Lily Barrow of Gambo, now living in Gander. And it's a 90th birthday for Reg Bowering, currently living in St. John's. Congratulations to Lloyd and Sarah Rossiter of Ramia, who are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary.
Happy 59th wedding anniversary to Walter and Vera Matthews of Kippens. Baz and Linda Fagan are celebrating their 52nd anniversary. Happy 54th wedding anniversary to Baxter and Patsy Noble of Horwood. It's a happy 51st anniversary for Majors Wilson and Linda James in Gander. Happy golden anniversary to Marjorie and Edgar Rogers of Centerville.
Happy anniversary to Mike and Madeline Cal from Point LaHaye, St. Mary's Bay. They're celebrating 59 years together. Happy 90th birthday to Alice Corbett. Frank Piercy in Stephenville is also celebrating his 90th birthday. Happy 51st wedding anniversary to Alex and Melita Brace of Long Cove, Trinity Bay. Patricia and Eugene Small are celebrating their 52nd wedding anniversary.
Greetings to Pearl and Dawn Burton of Fortune, who will be celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. Best wishes to Olive James, who lives in Twillingate but is formerly of Traytown, celebrating her 90th birthday. Sending happy 55th wedding anniversary greetings to Jim and Mary Jo Stacy. Congratulations to Harold and Myrtle Anderson of Gander, who are celebrating their 63rd wedding anniversary. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Alrita and Joseph Dunphy of Gander.
Headley Lake of Fortune celebrates his 99th birthday tomorrow. Happy 56th wedding anniversary to Daniel and Rosemary Maloney of Harbor Grace. Birthday greetings to Rita Hart of Botwood, celebrating her 92nd birthday today. Happy 95th birthday to Elizabeth Gale of Hampton. 90th birthday greetings to Johanna Ford of Bard Islands, Fogo Island, who celebrated this week.
Bramwell Barnes, formerly of Corner Brook but now residing in Nicholsville, is celebrating his 97th birthday. Congratulations to Fred and Joyce Wells of Burgeo, celebrating their 53rd wedding anniversary. It's a 50th wedding anniversary for Patricia and William Downey, formerly of St. Mary's Bay, now living in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips. It's also a 50th anniversary for Les and Val Hoolan from Stephenville.
Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Ronald and Gladys of Fermuse. Coyley and Geraldine Pittman are celebrating 50 years together. They live in Deer Lake. Formerly, they lived in Wabush. Emmanuel and Louise Young, formerly of Burgeo, are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Congratulations.
Another fine looking crew. Congrats to everybody who is celebrating. Quick recap on your weather forecast. Again, really nice for viewing the meteor shower tonight or early tomorrow morning. Clouds will thicken up as we roll through Saturday, especially in southern Labrador and along the west coast, where we could see a couple of showers by late afternoon, early evening. But really the dampest period will certainly be Sunday, which continues into Monday. Those lingering showers will clear out, though, as we move into Monday afternoon. Some sunshine starting to develop. That's some good news there. Quick look at that 7-day trend shows Tuesday is a nice one. I think possible showers rolling in for mid next week. And Labrador, again, a little cool Monday into Tuesday, but rebounding through next week.
Well, thanks so much for watching. Apologies for the shortened show, but don't worry, we'll be back with the full hour come Monday. So,
yes. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care.
Good night.